Alright, what's up guys? And as you can see, this is Banjo and Kazooie. He was finally released. I know a lot of people are excited for this character, and they wanted him in Smash for a while, so wanted to rush this video out even though it's out of order. But, enjoy. Alright, so first things first, we have his aerials. So, the first thing I saw with his Nair is, I think it's pretty good. It kind of reminds me of Piranha Plants. It's just kind of like you throw it out. It's kind of like a get off me. But there is some landing lag to it. So that's the biggest issue I see with this. But other than that, I think you can like drag down and probably get a grab off of it, depending on how you do it. It looks like it wants me to back air out of that. So that's interesting. This can lead into probably a grab or a back air depending on what way you're going. So pretty good for what it is right here. I wish it didn't have any landing lag, really. More like Pikachu's Nair. That would make his Nair much better, and he'd probably just throw it out all the time. But as it is, pretty good tool for starting something up, trying to challenge the opponent's space, in this case Pikachu's. And yeah, I imagine Banjo players will probably use this Nair a lot. They'll probably just do it out of a short hop and try to get some sort of conversion out of that, or landing and trying to get something like that going, which could all be pretty good. Okay, so onto his up air. His up air, it's pretty it's got a pretty big hitbox. I like the size of its hitbox. It can hit Pikachu landing, which is pretty good. And as you can see, I think it should combo into his up tilt into up air or something like that at these lower percents. So it's a pretty good combo tool. It's also pretty fast. It should be pretty good at sharking and at juggling. So I think people who play Banjo, or the people that will play Banjo, should be pretty happy with this one. I don't see anything really bad with it. It doesn't seem to have much landing lag, if at all. I mean, there's a little bit. There is a little bit of landing lag, but it's definitely comboable. Can definitely get you some conversions, and might be able to kill off the top on some sort of reads, but that have to be at very high percentages. Onto what I think his best aerial is. I think his best aerial is probably his back air. It's very quick, and it's good for. It's very quick, good in neutral. This is probably something that Banjo players are going to spam. As you can see, if you do it rising, it'll have a tough time hitting shorter characters like Pikachu, but you could always do it falling. This is probably like a safe pressure tool for Banjo. It's hard to tell at this moment because the character came out late last night. But yeah, I see this as a pretty good option, and it's something that Banjo is going to use a lot in neutral, just fighting for space, trying to take space away from his opponents. Yeah, that's it. And then onto his forward air. So I think his forward air is pretty good, but it's like you have to know what its uses are and how to use it. It is like, it's a big, like, he just throws his fist out there. It's a very strong tool. It's something that like almost seems like it should belong on a heavy character, because it smacks people, but it is pretty slow. And yeah, so I imagine this is probably actually safe on shield. I might be wrong on that if you space it, something like that. I really doubt most characters can punish that, but other than that, like if it's whiffed, definitely punishable. And yeah, it's definitely something where if you're it's more of a read option than a neutral tool like back air. It's like, oh, I think my opponent's going to do X, Y, or Z, and I know this forward air is just going to hit him really hard and basically just mess him up and get a pretty big conversion for the Banjo player. And so now to his down air. These are kind of interesting. So this is more of like a disadvantage tool. Like the opponent thinks you're going to keep drifting this way, and then instead of doing that, you just press down air and you fall straight down. You can't really convert it into anything. It's kind of difficult to do anything like that. It does 12 damage, so it's not terrible amounts of damage, but you're. Let me just say that you're probably not trying to hit this when you're throwing it out. You're probably just trying to get away. If it hits, you're fine, but it's not a very big conversion, and it doesn't seem to really have much knockback, so I doubt it kills very early. So it's almost like Bowser's down air, except Bowser's down air will kill, and I think this is a little faster. So, not bad, but again, it's situational. I think Banjo would have benefited a lot from some sort of downward spike or something from there. But, you know, not every character can have everything. Okay, so now onto Banjo's jab, grab, and his dash attacks. So his jab seems alright. He does have a rapid jab, which means that he can kind of spam this in the corner for a little while and get pretty good damage. Or he just has the normal grab, which is the normal jab, which just sends up in that way. Could potentially lead to combos at lower percents, but this is something that people will have to try to find conversions for. It's going to be hard. It probably requires like a RAR back air or a attack cancel back air. Probably attack cancel back air might be able to hit this, but it's a pretty hard input. So, and also I'm not sure. So take that with a grain of salt. So I think his jab's are right. I don't think it's anything special, unless if this leads into some cool attack cancel back air combos or something like that. But those probably aren't even going to come up very often, especially at such low percent. But it's always nice to have a rapid jab if your opponent gets stuck in the corner and you can just kind of spam it, and they'll have to take a lot of percentage. So, yeah. And onto his grab. His up throw is probably a tool that you want to be using most of the time. But this isn't even like a combo throw. Like this has a very tough time comboing at basically all percentages. The opponent has at many percentages the opponent can simply get out, can air dodge, can jump, etc. But it still puts you in a good position because you're allowed to basically just track what you think your opponent's gonna do. So if you think you're gonna double jump because they've double jumped every time, you can read that. Or if you think that they're gonna do something else, you think they're gonna air dodge, you can hit them with a strong punish like that. So pretty decent throw, but lacking a very good combo throw, which his up throw may have been, is kind of disheartening. Usually that's something that's very good for characters in this game to have, especially with the prominence of counters and the rise of Joker in the meta. But not every character can have everything, like I said. His forward throw, I think it's not that great. It's pretty good when you just you're on the edge and you want to get the other person in disadvantage. But I don't think that's killing anytime soon, and it's just and it doesn't combo. So situational usage, nothing more than that. His back throw is his big kill throw. So on the edge, this will kill decently early. But again, it has to be in those types of situations where you want the opponent off stage or you think it can kill. It doesn't really combo into anything. I mean, not really. It just doesn't combo into anything. At least nothing that I've seen. And so, yeah, onto his next throw. His down throw berries, but it's an extremely weak berry. As you can see, people, even the CPU's jumping out extremely quickly. I doubt you could get any really big punish off of this below very high percentages. I mean, if you know that they're gonna jump and not air dodge, I guess you can up tilt. But trying to land an F smash or anything meaningful there. I mean, maybe an F tilt it's going to be pretty hard. I really don't think the down throw is all that useful up until you get into really, really high percentages. Then there might be some nice kill confirms that could really help Banjo out. So that's it for his throws, and now just his dash attack. So his dash attack almost reminds me of something like DK's, just less good. That doesn't necessarily combo. It's just the other person's not playing. It is laggier than DK's, so I don't think it's quite as good, but it's all right. A dash attack where you have a good amount of forward movement after you use it is actually pretty helpful, because that means like people can think they're out of range for a certain amount of your attacks, and you throw it out and it hits them, and then they're kind of confused about it. So it's kind of like Snake's dash attack, kind of like Donkey Kong's dash attack. It's not bad. I wish it comboed more. Maybe it does combo into some stuff, but that could be a really big tool for Banjo. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's all that comboable, but pretty good. I wouldn't be complaining too much. Okay, and now on to his tilts. So his tilts are, from what I've seen, they're pretty good. Wow. So I didn't realize this wouldn't hit a Pikachu player, but tall players get hit by this move, and it does like 12% damage. It's pretty good. It's fast. It should be a pretty darn good anti-air. So I think this move's pretty good. I wish it just hit lower. Well, I don't think I'm gonna play much of Banjo, but if this move hit lower, it'd be a lot better. I was doing this against the Lucina, knocked the Lucina right in the air and led into some combos. So it's a little bit disheartening that Banjo can't hit this on shorter characters, but it should still be a very good anti-air. It's very quick. And yeah, onto his forward tilt. His forward tilt is very quick. I imagine this is safe on shield. I'm not sure. But just to throw something out, like as you can see, it really launches out there. It's pretty quick. It doesn't kill or anything like that, at least not till very high percentages. But I could almost see Banjo players like forward tilt into dash attack or grab 50-50, something like that. Or just like continue chasing with forward tilt, because this move seems really good to me. Especially when it starts getting to these knockdown scenarios and you get a bigger punish like that. I wouldn't be complaining if I was a Banjo player about his forward tilt. It seems really good. And onto his down tilt. So that has a lot of range actually. Wow. And it pushes Banjo forward. It seems to me that it's probably a 2-frame tool. You can probably throw it at the ledge and it'll probably hit under there, although I'm not sure. It is more laggy than the rest of his tilts, which is kind of disappointing because it does have a lot of range. But I can definitely see uses for this move. Trying to duck under maybe a projectile and hit your opponent that's standing kind of near, and just throwing out something that should be like almost out of Banjo's range, or even shield poking when their shield is up because you faked an aerial or something like that. This should be pretty good. Although I do think it's probably the weakest of his tilts. By probably, I almost mean definitely. It doesn't do a lot of damage, and it's more laggy than the rest of them. I mean, his forward tilt does more damage, it's quicker, and you'll probably be using it a lot more. Alright. On to Banjo's smash attacks. Alright, so his up smash, it seems like a very good out of shield option. As you can see, it can come super quickly out of shield. The issue is it does have that lag animation at the end, and that's a bit of an issue. So it should be a pretty good punish out of shield, but in other circumstances, you want to be very careful about using this move because your opponent has a lot of time to punish that, especially if you throw it out on their shield. They should get a big punish. But overall, I think this move's good because out of shield up smashes that are good out of shield, obviously. they're very useful. They can get you kills pretty early. I mean, I know I play Pikachu, so I can kind of get some kills off of that. So I think Banjo's very happy to have that tool, but he'd be a lot happier if he didn't have this ending lag. But I guess I wanted to make the character somewhat balanced. All right, onto his F smash. His F smash is very strong. It's not that slow. Like it's slow, but it's for how strong it is. I don't think it's a bad smash attack. Does 19%, but has very big knockback at higher percentages. Can kill very early. It's almost like a worse Lucina F smash or something like that. It almost looks like a sword, but overall I don't think it's great. But I think you can use it, especially if your opponent's incapacitated. Something like their shield broke. This is the tool that's going to kill very early, or even just like dash back F smash every now and then can get you an early kill. So pretty good, but not the greatest. Has a lot of lag. Is definitely punishable, but for a nice strong F smash, not bad. All right, his down smash. Wow. So this seems like it'll kill very early as well. I'm not sure how early, but it seems pretty strong, and it doesn't seem to be that slow. It's kind of slow, but not that slow. And that seems to be like a big archetypal thing for Banjo, is his moves are like slow, but not like that slow. So this could be pretty good for a roll behind read or something like that. Just throw it out. This actually isn't that slow. You could probably throw it out and get away with it a lot of the time, as long as it's not on the opponent's shield, because they could probably just hit you out of that. But again, this is a good tool for probably for ledge trapping. It's got a lot of range, but also it's probably a good tool for reading roll behind. It just launches your opponent out of there, and yeah. So smash attacks, I think his up smash is probably going to end up being his most useful as an out of shield option. His F smash will be useful for early kills, but you should not rely on it whatsoever. Then his down smash is pretty good for some movement reads. Okay, onto Banjo's special attacks. I think his special attacks is probably where Banjo gets most of his flair and most of the stuff he wants. It's like in neutral and otherwise. So starting off with his neutral B, it's really you can like keep using it, and then you hold on to this guy. Sorry, I accidentally side beat there. And hold on to this guy. I really don't think you should be doing this. You go extremely slow. I mean, you can throw these out, but this Pikachu right here should be able to just hit the Banjo and get him in a bad position right now. I would not recommend using that as that move, but in the air, grounded, it's kind of laggy. So I wouldn't use it very much to grounded, but in the air, it's pretty decent. You can B-reverse this. I'm practically garbage at B-reversing, but anyway, pretty decent neutral tool. Almost reminds me of Pikachu's Thunder Jolt, just not nearly as good. But in the air, it's a pretty useful tool, and that's his neutral B. And his side B is this. This is pretty good, but as you can see, those 5 feathers right there, you can only use this a certain amount of times per stock. Otherwise, you'll just run out of these feathers and you can't do it again, which is unfortunate because this move is very strong, and it'll kill like stupid early. And it does not even have that much lag for the type of move it is. So I think a big thing for Banjo will be actually landing these moves, either in neutral if you think they're going to do something like a Pikachu down tilt or forward tilt, which is like a pretty good neutral tool in general. This will just break that because it's very strong super armor and just hit the Pikachu and could kill very, very early. But you have to be wary that you only have 5 of them. And I could almost see it used kind of like Inkling's Roller, except it'll be stronger. Just force them into some sort of knockdown situation, and they really don't have any way out. Similar to Inkling's Roller. That's why I see this used. So yeah, I think this move is actually pretty good. You do have to be careful with it. It is a special move. It does have like cooldown time, but it's really not that like egregious cooldown time, and the stuff you'll get off of it at higher percentage is very, very good. So overall, I think his side B is a very good tool for Banjo, and it's going to be a tool that Banjos have to use effectively if they want to be effective. And so on to his down B. His down B is his grenade. It's kind of annoying because it sends behind you, so you gotta like in the air it's a little easier. But I think this grenade is very good, and this is an option Banjo players are going to use a lot. The grenade combos into certain things like forward air and back air, and that tool, it's a very good neutral tool, I think, and this is a way that Banjo players are going to get a lot of kills, I think, as well. Is throwing the grenade and comboing off of it, because the grenade is very strong as a combo tool. Unfortunately for Banjo players, it goes right over Pikachu's head. So that's another thing. I've noticed it a few times. It seems like Banjo's going to struggle when characters are as short as Pikachu or even shorter. And Banjo's going to do a lot better when the characters are taller like Lucina, just because a lot of his moves won't whiff. And this grenade's a pretty good example of it. I also think this move is probably going to be useful for ledge trapping. Just toss the grenade, something like that, and then cover a few of these options, because then they're forced to get off of the ledge. So I think grenade is probably Banjo's best special move. Just because, well, I'm not sure, because this side B is very good. But I think this move is going to be used a lot in neutral, despite how bad I'm failing at trying to use it on this Pikachu. But as you can see, the Pikachu's put into a lot of hit stun, and you can do a lot of combos off of it. So yeah, it should be pretty good, but you do have to do this laggy animation and pick it up and try to throw it and land it. And that's going to be an opportunity for your opponent to attack you. So there's give and take to it. Onto his up B. His up B is practically useless in neutral, I think. Maybe if you were trying to get somebody up there and you just wanted to launch up and then jump and up air. But I don't really see it having any use on the stage, simply for recovery, I think. So yeah, that's almost it for his special moves. You can jump out of this, which is nice. But his special attacks, I think his down B is amazing. I think his side B is, I think his down B is critical to Banjo's success. I don't know how amazing it is, but I think his side B is really good. Even though it might not be quite as important as the down B, just because this will kill very early, and it has a lot of super armor. And then his up B is just whatever until we get to the recovery section of this video, which is actually what's up next. On to Banjo's recovery. I think Banjo has a good amount of recovery mix-ups, and they all kind of branch off. They're all kind of helped, I mean, by the fact that he has a jump off of his up B, so he can jump and throw out not like that, but he can jump and throw out an option and catch opponents off guard. But also a very good recovery tool, I think, for Banjo is actually doing that and side being onto the ledge, because that super armor is very strong, and a lot of opponents are going to have a tough time trying to break that while Banjo's going to the ledge. I mean, the issue is that he only has 5 of those things per stock, and you want to use them on stage to kill your opponent for certain reads. But when you're off stage in a bad situation, I imagine that's a very good option for Banjo. And his up B is laggy, but him having a jump out of it and being able to throw out an attack ultimately makes it so Banjo, I think, has enough mix-ups to be a decent character off the stage and getting back. And on to Banjo's edge guarding. So I think Banjo's edge guarding is primarily going to be done by his neutral air and his back air. I think these tools are both very good for edge guarding. His neutral air it's just gonna hit like just gonna take up a lot of space where the opponent wants to use, and that's gonna be a real issue for a lot of characters that have to recover linearly. And his back air is just very quick. You can throw out multiple of them and get back just very safely, very fine. Also, his what's it called? His forward air is gonna be a decent option out there, but that's something if you really have a read on someone, because that's gonna kill very early, but it's laggy and throwing 2 out practically gets you killed. I mean, I could have gotten back there, but it's difficult. I wouldn't be going for too many forwarders off stage, especially when you have this back air, which should be much better at it, and it's neutral air, which should be pretty good at it as well. All right, and so I'm gonna take a second here to switch around the characters to see how well how well or how poorly, it depends on where you're standing, I guess. Banjo can get comboed by Pikachu. Just because I play Pikachu, and this is ultimately part of this is trying to get me information, as well as trying to get you information on like what a practically what can be done against this character, and how well Banjo can be comboed. It's an important part of that, I think. So his weight is it's interesting. It doesn't seem like he should be too hard to combo, although he's weird, I think, as far as his floatiness and his weight. It's not like a normal per se in this game. It feels a little different to combo him, but there's still plenty of stuff you can do against him. So yeah, I think overall this character is going to be pretty easy to combo because of his large size, but he might seem a little weird at first. So yeah, that should be everything. His recovery, I think, is pretty decent. He has enough mix-ups to get by. His edge guarding, I think, can be okay. And I think he can get comboed pretty hard, at least against like the premier combo characters of this game. I mean, someone like Palutena, like Pikachu, like Pichu, like all these characters, Peach, they can probably combo him pretty hard and get him in a pretty poor position. Alright guys, I wanted to share with you the plans for this channel going forward. So basically you're going to see more of these videos where I just kind of look at a character's moveset and what do I think players of that character should be doing in a match against me. And then later on I'll see if I was right by playing like online matches, and once I get a good sample size of that, I'll see, hey, maybe this is what the characters want to do, or maybe I was right all along. So kind of as a consequence of that, you will be seeing some highlights from my stream on here, just because that's where I'm going to get the information from when I make these character assessments later on. So speaking of my stream, come follow me at LiterallyDonate, and yeah, thanks for watching.